I'm going to start by just giving a basic overview of the adventure for everyone, and then we'll get into some spoilers for dungeon masters who may be interested in running this. But this is a rodent problem, a new take on the classic first adventure by Jasen Bacon, which I downloaded from dmsguild.com. It's a pay what you want PDF file, meaning in theory you could get it for free if you put a zero in, you want to pay zero before checkout. But this is designed to use only the very basic rule set, which can be downloaded for free from Dungeons and Dragons' official website. And here's the introduction. Yes, the town has a problem with rats that are larger than usual, coming out of the sewers, attacking people, and causing damage to shops. Any brave soul who is willing to go into the sewers to take the rats out will be grouped together with other honest adventurers and given a key to the iron grates that bar the entry to city sewers. Killing rats as the first adventure is so cliche, it could be fun. This adventure is designed to be run with just the basic rules that can be downloaded from the official D&D website. Of course, any additional books that you own will only increase your enjoyment of this adventure. An 1 to 2 hour adventure for first level characters. It took us about 2 hours to complete when all was said and done. The basic premise is that, you show up in this town, your players will see wanted posters around town looking for adventurers to be paid 1 silver piece per rat head if they assist in the extermination of the sewers. And as one of the main NPCs laments, there's something that has to be going on. There's got to be something more. An occasional fireball hurled down into the sewers is always taking care of the problem before. There have been attacks on people, attacks on shops, destruction and mayhem. Giant rats. Who hasn't started with a campaign that has giant rats? Again, as he said, it is cliche, but this was fun and it had a little twist to it, which will get me into spoilers. If you're a player that might be interested in playing this or showing it to your DM, stop now. Okay. So anyway, like I said, this is a great adventure for teaching mechanics to brand spanking new players that have never played before. There's a lot of combat. Rolling initiative, rolling for hit, rolling for damage, perception skill, investigation skill. We use nature and medicine checks. So just to get the very basic rules down, very, very basic. We did follow the movement rules. However, we did not use encumbrance. Again, I don't even know if the basic download includes encumbrance. I have the player's handbook here. This is very streamlined. It's well laid out. There is a map included, and we'll get to that first. Here's the map, and as you can see, everything is clearly labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and so on. And there are map keys, entrance room, shrine room, secret cult meeting hall. And within the written adventure, each area is concisely laid out. Area B has this enemy, area C has this enemy, area D has this enemy, and so forth. It's clearly explained what enemies have what items on them. There is only one enemy with spellcasting ability. The rest are very straightforward melee enemies. And like I said, we got just enough experience to get to level 2 through this adventure. I had to scale it down. This is an easily scalable adventure. I just took out I believe it called for 3 giant rats. Yeah, here, there are 3 giant rats in this chamber. I only used 2 instead. I scaled back the amount of humanoids in the shrine, and it worked out very well. As you can see here, it says the rules for the giant rats can be found on page 27 of the DM Basic Rules, or on page 327 of the Monster Manual. I don't have my Monster Manual, but I was able to find all of the stats that I needed online. I believe I used D&D 5e Wiki, or that's what I searched for, D&D 5e Giant Rats, and I was easily able to come up with the information that I needed, and I printed it. But yes, very concisely written. There are 2 named NPCs with dialogue, several guardsman NPCs that you could spice up a little bit, maybe give them a name and something to say. You will also need to probably set up a tavern. That's what I used. The posters were hanging in the tavern, and that's what we did. So yeah, I would definitely recommend downloading this. It was a very good first adventure. Very straightforward. Go down in the sewers, exterminate the rats, find a hidden passageway, find rat worshippers, and also this adventure introduces your new players to magical items. And if they defeat the final acolyte, they get the Amulet of Rat Command. This amulet has 3 charges and recharges 1d3 charges each night at midnight. The bearer of the amulet can use a charge to call rats from the surrounding area and cause them to fight as a swarm of rats obedient to the amulet controller. Now, in my particular instance, I let my other player sell it for 50 gold pieces to the local mage shop. It wasn't something she was interested in for her particular character, and so she sold it. Again, I used this adventure as part of a bigger overall overarching story arc in my town I created called Oakenvale. So again, it's a free download from dmsguild.com, A Rodent Problem by Jasen Bacon. Give it a shot. I would. If you're looking for just something short and sweet, you have friends that are interested, but you're not exactly sure how long they're going to stick with it or if they'll even like it, go ahead and pick this up and see how it goes. If you happen to run this, leave me a comment below, or if you have any questions about it, go ahead, leave a comment for me, and I'll talk to you later.